Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Someone said that success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. And it's a great saying. We, Institute of Tax Professionals, are very thankful to Mr. Asif for giving us time on really short notice. A man who's doing PhD along with carrying on his profession as a teacher, a married person taking care of his children, and here we are. Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Asif.
Walaikum
How
salam.
are you, sir?
I am fine. What about you?
I'm very good.
Ah,
Sir, thank you first of all. You have given us time on an extremely short notice, and we are really thankful to you about it.
You are every time welcome.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, not wasting much time, I know you have a very little time for us, and start up with a little introduction of yourself, sir. Kindly tell us about how you have started your journey, about your life, and we'll proceed from that, sir.
As you know, I am Muhammad Asif Chaudhary, and the birthplace of me is the Chak Hasan Rai in Tahsil Arahwala district, Pakpatan. And I spent my early 16 year of age in my village, and I completed my matriculation from Government Higher Secondary School, Kabula Sharif. Then I come to Lahore, and I take admission in Government Islamia College Civil Lines, where I completed my FSc and BSc. After that, I admitted in ICMAP, Institute of Cost and Management Accountants, and started my professional education. I was a student of ICMAP when I was selected in Federal Board of Revenue through Federal Public Service Commission as an audit officer or auditor, and then I carry out my education and service side by side.
Okay.
And now, Alhamdulillah, I am needed to complete my PhD and teaching the officers of Federal Board of Revenue, and I give a lecture to the most of the universities in Pakistan.
How did you started your career? As you said that you give lectures to the officers of Federal Public Service, and you mentioned that they're higher on your grade. So how do you feel about that? You're giving lecture to someone who is at a higher rank than you. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's a very happy moments when in my life when I give a first lecture in the Inland Revenue Services Academy. There was sitting my teachers who first day to whom I report to that officers. He was sitting in class. I am teaching them the Sales Tax Act. That was the lecture regarding registration of sales tax. That was my first lecture. And there was who was evaluating me. My director was also sitting there in class because they want to evaluate me how I am expert. Because most of them are my officers to whom I report sometimes in earlier services.
Yeah.
Therefore, they have a lot of questions and they try to give me a hard time in that session. My director, when met me after a session, she tell me that Mr. Asif, they tried their best to overcome on you, but great, you have done well and you do all the things very nice.
Well, that
As I told you that I was the student of ICMAP when I try for the job in Federal Board of Revenue, and Federal Public Commission take exam from us, and we were on my appointment letter and my recommendation letter, there is a address of Punjab University hostels.
Okay.
Hostel number 9, we lived there and we were a student, and Alhamdulillah, I think it was a very lucky time for me because during my student career I get a job. I have not to become an unemployed person, and so that then I selected as a auditor in Federal Board of Revenue. And as I take my education and my career side by side, therefore being a good educationalist. I was selected as a trainer and professor in Inland Revenue Services Academy. So whichever come there, who may be my teacher, who may be my senior, who may be my officer, but I am a teacher there. Therefore, I give them a lecture.
Well, you are a teacher, and teaching is one of the oldest profession of the world. So, what motivated you actually to pursue your current career field, being an employee of FBR, which is whose mainly task is to regulate the taxation system of Pakistan, to getting to teaching the persons? What motivated you to get in the field of teaching?
Uh, One of the first thing that encouraged me the most, that is, if you go for any person and ask him or tell him to pay a tax, he
Yeah.
will deny. He will not be happy to give a tax, but he can pay a zakat, he can give a charity, but he cannot pay a tax. So it was very surprising that it is the, I think it is a not a problem of that person. I think it is the problem of literacy and education regarding the taxation and to abide the law of that country. One of my ambition is that I will teach all the population, all the person regarding the taxation
Okay.
and why it is necessary. In my all the lecture, whenever given in a university or wherever I give in a lecture in a seminar, I started with that the Benjamin Franklin's statement that in this world nothing is certain except death and taxes. Then it is my ambition that to teach this thing to every person in the Pakistan.
Well, that is a great ambition. Like you have carried on your shoulders to teach text to almost every person
Inshallah.
and making it a very common thing among people, which is not nowadays.
Yeah.
So, sir, kindly elaborate us. Like you have carried a burden upon yourself. How do you enjoy the work while teaching people who are illiterated in respect of taxation, in respect that they are likely to give zakat or they want to give donation in the name of charity, zakat, but they are not fulfilling their need as a responsible person of the country by giving taxes? How do you enjoy that, sir?
Yeah, I enjoy it very much because one of the first thing that is it is my responsibility
Okay.
to train the people regarding the taxation because I am on the payroll of Federal Board of Revenue, being a teacher in the Inland Revenue Services Academy, to train my peoples, my officers, to how you can collect a tax from the peoples easily.
Okay.
My main job is that because I feel that there is a shortcomings in our society is to understanding the concept of taxation.
Okay.
They fear on that from that word. All over the world, people fear from that word, but most in Pakistan, they fear so much that I think he will be agree to give a zakat 2 lakh rupees.
Okay.
But he will not give the taxation even 50,000 rupees. When taxman go for a collection of taxation, he may be agree on that you can take a bribe as a 1 lakh rupee, but he will not agree to give a taxation in the 50,000 rupees. As mean it become every year's routine, but he prefer to give more money to the taxman but not to the government. I think it is a illiteracy and shortage of education. That thing that I want to train every people of Pakistan, to educate every people of Pakistan that in which country you are living, you have to abide the law of that country, and whichever is the law is not a law to give a charity, zakat or bribe, but law is to pay a tax. If you earn so much money, then it is required to pay a tax.
Okay.
But if the people will be learned and they will educated regarding the taxation, inshallah they will pay more.
Sir, you've mentioned that people are willing to pay bribe,
Yeah.
leading to the corruption which affects the economy a lot. What is the reason that people despite of giving tax to the government that may be used in different projects of the country that would lead to the prosperity of the country, why do they feel that giving bribe is okay, but despite giving tax is not? They feel, why they feel like that? Well, okay to give bribe
One
instead of
thing,
tax.
as I already elaborated, that one thing is that illiteracy, uneducation, these are the things that the people feel that if we pay tax one time, then every year we have to pay the taxes. But they did not think that if we pay a bribe one time, then the person will pursue me for second time for that. Yeah, therefore the people feel that if once I entered in the taxation system, I will be go in the difficult hell. But it is not a matter. When you are entering in the system of FBR and you enrolled in the Federal Board of Revenue, you enjoy the benefits.
Okay.
There are a lot of benefits for a filer or tax paying person than a non-filer.
Okay.
Yeah, being a non-filer, you have to pay a double tax. Sometimes you have to pay a triple tax
Okay.
than the filer. But due to illiteracy, yeah, I think they feel that it is good to pay a bribe to any person than the tax.
Means you have cleared the mind of the viewers that being a filer person you're paying tax,
Yeah.
but being a non-filer person you're paying more tax.
You paying a more and 3 time tax. And I give you an example, like if you want to purchase a plot,
Okay.
it is a requirement of every person. Every person who
Indeed.
have fulfill his necessities, then he come to for accommodation,
Okay.
which is also a necessity. And you want to purchase a plot. If you are a filer, you have to pay 3% tax of that amount. But if you of the value of the property.
Okay.
But if you are a non-filer, then you have to pay 10.5%. It's more than 3 times. I give you 3 times, but it is 3.5 times.
Okay, that's
more.
a huge
Yeah,
difference, sir. That's
yeah.
a huge difference.
So it means you can enjoy the I think 7.3% rebate or less tax while you are a filer, and you can claim in your return also. That,
Okay, means
that
you can get incentives.
Yeah.
Means people in this country are illiterate and they are not aware of the incentives and rebates the taxation system gives.
Exactly.
Okay, sir. Sir, if I add something to that, being a representative of the Federal Board of Revenue, how do you say or how do you elaborate that how FBR is working currently for educating the people to pay taxes, to for the prosperity of the country? How they're educating them that you should pay tax. If you're not paying tax, you're paying tax at a higher level than a filer person who is actually paying tax and is in the ATL list. Sir, how would you say that FBR house working?
Your question is very relevant. If you follow me and learned my say my videos on YouTube, for many times I mentioned that there should be a department that who should educate the people.
Okay, sir.
As there is no any department who educate the people regarding the taxation, and if there is some research and development funds even for that to educate the people, but that are not utilized except that give some advertisement on TV and you say that one fun cartel on that you pay your taxes and this that. There are very few expenses on the education of the taxpayer. Therefore, this is the main cause that I take it on my shoulders that I will teach every people.
Yeah, okay.
Therefore, I am teaching the people regarding the benefits of taxation and why they abide the taxation laws on my own expenses. Not department is compensating me regarding that.
Sir, that is a noble cause that you're doing for the country. You're educating the people that the taxation are for yourselves, not for that. The government is not taking out for his personal, or the people sitting in the government not taking out for their personal things. This is for you. This is for your prosperity, sir. If we're coming next to that, it should be a hectic thing to educate people who are not ready to accept these things. how do you experience, how do you work experience that, how do you feel things like that?
Yes, being a teacher, I feel that nowadays the student did not want to learn anything. Even I am talking about the students. When you focus every time on learning, even nowadays, students are not trying to learn anything. They only want to try for get a certificate,
Okay.
get a degree,
Okay.
get a good marks, but did not want to learn.
Okay.
That is the students whose basic work is to learn. How the other peoples will learn? What do you think about other people?
Okay.
I think, including me, we waste a lot of time on social medias, on the goods which are not realistic things, but we will not learn or listen the goods which are beneficial for us and which are beneficial for a country. Go, it is a very difficult thing, but in spite of that, I promise with myself that I will try my best to teach every person regarding the taxation.
Sir, you like students nowadays, everything is available on phone. Everything is shifting on phone, on the screen after, especially after COVID pandemic. Sir, you said that people or students, even at the age, irrespective of age, irrespective of gender, they don't want to learn.
Yeah.
They just want to get a degree or certificate. They're just trying for a shortcut, not learning things by heart. They're just ignoring things. Okay, sir. How does this impact your teaching or your feelings as a teacher? How does these things impact you as a teacher?
I feel sometime if you ask from me, if I am a policy maker regarding the educationist or education policy, then I think I may finish the exam system.
Okay.
I may finish the mark system. I may finish the evaluation system.
Okay.
Only I teach the students with the projects that this is the, I give them a lecture and give them a case study to explain it.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I think the student will learn more, especially in the era when where in higher education.
You're
I
explaining
think
that being practical is more important than being
more
theoretical.
than theoretical.
Okay, sir.
I think there are a lot of people who are good skill taking peoples in FSC, even in BScs, but they cannot succeed in ICMA and ICAP, CA.
Okay.
Maybe they have a good knowledge, but they cannot elaborate regarding their
Practically they are nil
practically.
person.
Sometimes you feel that one person become more successful, more successful than the hard worker who is give attempts on the CA and ACMA. So I will prefer that there should be a practical in the class. Not there should not be a number game or exam and certificates.
Means, okay, so like you said that the government should avoid the cramming system, that you have crammed something, you get marks, and that because of your cramming nature, being a bookworm, you are nil in the practical environment. That's why you said that if I am being a policy maker, I would vanish or extinguish the examination system and rather call it that. So well, that is a good suggestion. I will try to implement in our institute.
Inshallah. When we become a policy maker, inshallah.
Inshallah, you would be one day. So, what skills that you think would be essential being an employee of FBR and teaching the persons who are higher in your grade? What would be skills that you need to achieve that thing?
I think whenever I teach my students or give like anybody want to take advice from me, I give a simple advice: whichever tasks you want to do, whichever skill you have to take, you should be a professional in that field, and you should be a hard worker, that you should be a number one of that field. Even I know a person who you know that whenever in our society that क्या करते हैं, मिट्टी करता हूँ, मिट्टी का काम करता हूँ. One person who is gives the trolleys to the barrier town, trolleys of mitti to the barrier town.
Okay.
He is now so successful that there is an avenue on his name, that is Mr. Azam Bhatti's avenue.
Okay.
He was only the mitti carriage.
Okay, he was just a
only
carrier of-
one tractor and trolley. Now is a lot of lands, lot of plazas, and because he was sincere with his work.
Okay.
I think whichever work you do, whichever skills you have, you should be a professional in that skill, and you should be a hard worker for that skill.
Indeed,
then you
sir.
could achieve the maximum of level of that. So
Being
therefore, I will
hard
advise
working.
being a hard worker and sincere with your profession, you will achieve everything.
Hard working leads to success.
Yeah.
This is your motto.
Yeah, there is I think I will tell you three things for success, that are hardworking, and hard working.
Okay, sir. Okay, so that is the thing. I think you're very inspired by Mr. Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Hardworking. Sir, what are your personal strengths and skills that you have endured during your job, during your teaching career? What are your strengths and skills, sir?
I think one of my friend give me the name that you have a very calculated time for everything.
Okay.
One thing that I do, I think time management, that I manage my time in such a way that I complete 2 or 3 tasks in my life.
Okay, sir.
And sometimes I may be a hard worker. I leave my home one day and return back on the second day to my home.
Okay, sir.
And as I spend in my learning, in teaching, in my service, I spend so much time and so hard worker that I most of the time I do my work for 16 hours a day.
So well, that is a huge amount of time. You have said your time management is your strength, and you are giving a lot of time carrying out the burden of the nation. So, if you think your strength is time management,
Yeah.
there might be some weakness. You feel that, bro, dude, I'm feeling weakness, I'm feeling lacking at this thing that I need to improve. What do you think is your weakness?
Very nice. It's a very good question. Nowadays, I am feeling a very much weakness in me. That is, I spend most of my time in using a social media by only scrolling the time, and I waste so much time, and then I abuses me myself why I wasted so much time, and I think that is my weakness. I should not waste so much time on social media, because there is no good thing. There
Okay.
is no very good thing in social media. There is a as you listen nowadays, फनकार जो है वो दीन पढ़ा रहे हैं, उलमा जो है वो फनकारियाँ लगा रहे हैं, एंकर जो है वो जो अनसाने वाले थे वो सारे एंकर बन गए हैं. तो इस तरह से बहुत सारा टाइम जो है ना वो ज़ाया हो रहा है.
So, let me add one point, that when you talk about strength, you talk about weakness, and we're talking to the person who said time management is my strength. Despite saying this, he's saying that I'm wasting a lot of time. You can imagine what the level that person has achieved, that even saying I'm strong at management to coming up to the point that I'm lacking time. Well, sir, that's a huge thing to say. I'm sure you will overcome that very soon.
Inshallah. I'm trying my best to overcome all this.
Okay, so
bad habit. You can say that it is my bad habit.
So that is a good thing. Sir, how long have you been serving for FBR?
I was selected in Federal Board of Revenue and I give my joining on 26th July 2001. Now I have completed almost 24 year, and the next year will be the maybe the last 25 year. I am planning that after 25 year I may be retired from these services.
Sir, well, you shouldn't be getting retired because the department needs much person like you who can carry the burden on his own. So,
Yeah, I will carry on that burden, and I have a lot of. I will use every medium which I can want. No, I have much restrictions due to the department. Then I will have a
Open ground to-
open ground to play, and I inshallah I
yeah,
will play
sir,
a good-
inshallah, we'll be looking forward to that. Sir,
Inshallah.
how's your feeling? Like you said, you told us that you belong to a family who has an agricultural background. How was your feeling, sir, when a person having an agricultural background entered or get into a department at the federal level? What was your feeling on your first day when you entered that immense building of FBR, sir?
As I told you that I take admission in Government Islamia College Civil Lines.
Yes, sir, you mentioned that.
Government Islamia College Civil Line and Customs House and Tax House are very near to each other.
So-
Whenever we come to Anarkali for meal, whenever the hostel was closed, and we come to the old Anarkali for a meal, lunch or dinner,
So,
we saw the building, huge building, that is the Customs House and Tax House. And we think about the peoples who are working there, who are the customs officer and who are the income tax officers are. And there are jeeps in the, there were standing a jeep, blue color jeep outside the office and inside the office, and we saw that they are very
means-
great people who are.
despite of knowing that one day I'm getting into that thing.
Yeah.
So what was that feeling, sir?
On 26th July 2001, I entered to the customs house with my appointment letter and being joined as an officer. It was very surprising. It was very happy moment. That was very happy moment that we saw 10 years before, or you can say that 8 years before, that who are the people who are working there, but not I am the people who are working there. And the department gave me a jeep that impressed me so much,
Sir.
and I enjoy it very much. And that was a very happy moment after the some subjects failure from ICMA fees. ICMA fees, go ICMA give me a lot of knowledge that succeeded me in life, that is in my PhD, MPhil, MBA,
So-
even I passed all the exam by the knowledge that are given by ICMAP.
So-
And even the job of the exam of Federal Public Service Commission for this job was I was so much trained, and I think I attempted the 100% question.
So
there will not
that
be a
is
chance,
the-
maybe
that
there
is
be a beer
the
also.
honorable
But
thing
due
for
to
us, sir.
ICMA, it was due to ICMA. But when we become very relaxed and very happy on that day.
So, means, sir, you mentioned quite a few times that ICMA or ICAP, like the professional bodies, they're professional
Yeah.
bodies. Do you believe unanimously that professional bodies are better than the higher educational system or the academic planner? Do you feel that, being having a previous background, being an ICMA person, how do you feel that? Is it better to get into a professional body than an educational system?
You are very right. Because being a teacher, as I am teaching the student most of the universities of MPhil,
Sure.
MS, and other programs, BS programs, and I remain the student of ICMAP, and sometimes the students of ICMAP come for a taxation classes
Sure.
from me. There is a lot of difference. The professional body is much better than the other institutions, because In the other, they give at least a knowledge by giving the pressure of their exams that we will take a hard exam from you, and the student do a hard work.
Okay, sir.
But in other institutions, I think they give the students want, if you give them, these are the 5 questions,
Sure.
from where 3 question will be taken the exam from 3 questions. You will have to attempt 3 questions. The student requires that, sir, please give us that 3 questions.
Okay.
It is very hard. You give out of a paper syllabus, out of syllabus paper. But as you are the student of ICAP, and I remain the students of ICMAP, that you have not any specific book from where you will have a
That's
question.
the thing.
Uh,
That is
they are
quite
only
a
the
good
recommended
thing.
book, only the recommended book, but they are not bound to give a question from that book. It is from you can say that
This is a knowledge-based
from
thing.
whichever knowledge base they can
Yes, sir.
ask anything from you, and it is there, right? But in these universities, if you, as I tell you earlier, that if you give them syllabus of 5 questions and you give 3 questions, they will ask it will be out of question. They will not tell me only
Sort
3
of a scripted thing.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Well, sir, you being a teacher and being an FBR employee, government-based employee, sir, what was the work environment? How the people of the FBR, being your seniors, the cooperation in that, how do you treat or how do you accommodate the person who came up to you having a tax query or having a tax refunds? There are refunds, right? And if how do you handle that, and how is the efficiency of the FBR system? How over the span of 24 years, how do you feel that? Is it very good? Is it satisfactory? Is it good and it needs improvement? Sir.
Yeah. I
It
will
is,
not.
sir, let me add one thing, sorry. It is not to bash any institution or any government, sir. It is just that the viewers, the people who are going to watch this video, they should know that they are safe, they are convenient, they won't be questionable about their income, they will be treated great. So how is that efficiency going well, sir?
Yeah. I will not tell you that it is a very good, a very cooperative department, but it is a much better than other departments in Pakistan.
Okay, sir.
It is a much better, and it has a system. It has a automated system. Even you will file. You can file your return even sitting in your bedroom.
Sir.
You can file your return even sitting in your bedroom. You can pay your taxes. You can fill all the return.
So
You think any other department of Pakistan will facilitate you like that, like FBR?
sir, well, I'm not aware of, but indeed, you being in the institution, being in the department, you are well aware of that.
Other one thing, listen about that. You will listen from the people that FBR are not giving us refunds and this that.
But that is one of the common norm people say.
Common norms. You listen that,
Yes,
but
sir.
you will surprise. You will surprise in after how many times you will get a refund. If I ask a question from you,
Yes, sir.
what you are thinking that if you made exports and you required a refund, and after the application, how many times you will get a refund?
Sir, I think if I'm not well aware of, I'm having zero knowledge. I would say that within 120 days or within 60 days, 60 to 120 days.
You will be surprised that all the system is automated. When you file your return once and you file your annexure H regarding the refund system,
So-
you have filed the, and system started working on that process, and after 72 hours check will reach in your account.
Sir, that is
After
quite an improvement.
Only after 72 hours, you will receive a check in your account regarding the refund.
Well said.
And in next 7 days, that process will repeat
Okay, sir.
7 times. And whichever is cleared, that will be go into your account. And after that, there will be maybe some discrepancies. Due to discrepancies, the pending refund will be pending.
Okay.
If there is no discrepancy, then our refund will go in your account within 72 hours.
Okay, sir.
Is any department in Pakistan so efficient? You think about that?
No, sir, I'm not aware of.
Therefore, I tell you that I will not say that FBR is 100% perfect, but it is a much better than other departments of Pakistan.
Sir, people, I think that you have mentioned that the refund is made to you within 72 hours. So I feel that people, they are aware that they have knowledge, they listen to some people. I'm sitting in a conference, you're talking to me like a group discussion or anything. If something you have gone through a bad experience with FBR, people only notice that. And if you're saying that I was getting refunded in 60 days, I didn't get the claim, I didn't get the refund, people will think about that. If I'm going to file, if I'm going to be a filer, if I get a refund, I'm not going to get it back. Or if I'm going to get a taxpayer, I'm not safe, my documents are not safe, I'm being prone to all the departments, I'm getting audited every time. So I think, do you think that they're all the myths?
Yeah, all the myths, and if the people's maybe you have once in a life you have a one refund, and you go for FBR to give me a refund. FBR has not prioritized you that you are single, being a single person, you have to be given a refund as early as possible. But they will prioritize the peoples who are the exporters, who are contributing in Pakistan's economy, and who are in who have a lot of refunds. They will prioritize them. Therefore, the people who may one single or two times have to go for a refund and feel difficulty, they all the myths. There is there are shortcomings always there, but the FBR is performing very well as compared to other departments of Pakistan. Even not even Pakistan, as compared to other systems in the world.
So
The FBR has a very good automated system as compared to other world, and it is like the developed country, we have a good system.
So, well, if it is like that, it is a great achievement, despite we are under the burden of the IMF, and it is a great achievement that our tax collection system is getting better day by day.
Yeah.
So that is a great thing, sir. How do you, sir, being a good time manager, how do you prioritize your task while managing multiple tasks? Like you have different tasks, how are you going to prioritize that? And then going to get with, suppose file A with the first time, I'm giving to get this much time to this task, this much time to this task, and this is the most. How do you decide that how I'm going to prioritize things, sir? In your life, in your job?
Always my priorities, as I told you regarding the FBR will not prioritize to give you a refund on purchasing a car. They will prioritize through the industries who are exporting as a huge refunds. Like that, I always give the priorities of the work which have a much important. I prioritize my work regarding the importance of that work. Much important, very important work is priority first, and like the importance reduces, the priorities reduce.
How do you, means if I add the previous question, how do you come up to a decision that this is the most important thing? This is the thing. When there is certainty that you have, suppose you have to submit something or submit a file within a certain time, how do you decide that what should I be going first?
Sometimes time limits change
your
priorities.
Yes, sir.
If you have a time limit, like in the some days ago, my supervisors give me a time limit for submitting my thesis and papers, articles for publishing, and I sit on my table and chair, even in my bedroom, from getting up from bed to table chair, and from table chair to bedroom, and sometimes I take a 1 sitting up to 12 hours
Sir,
to
that
complete that
is a
task.
huge
So
thing.
it give me that is a very important for me because there is a time limit, and sometimes there is a time limit regarding filing of my return.
So-
Then I will prioritize that to fulfill. Every time I did not wait for the last day of the every submitting return bill everything.
Okay, sir.
I try my best to deposit in early days, not for last
You
day.
sort of, if I say it in that context, that you challenge yourself that I have to do this before the due date, before the due time.
Yeah.
Sort of, you challenge yourself. So, you have been a government employee for 24 years. That is a huge time, sir. You might be facing, you would have faced a lot of challenges, a lot of problems where you have feel very low that how I'm going to overcome this. So, sir, kindly, we are all, I know, so we are taking your a lot of time, sir, and we're very thankful to you for that. So, if you might give us one of few example that you have challenged and you said, I'm going to face it, I'm going to get through it. How you overcome that? How you face that, sir?
If you do big work, then you have to face the challenges.
So,
If you go into your routine life, there will not be a challenge in your life. And if you are expected from your officers, your colleagues that you will do a good work, then you will have a challenge, and you will overcome that challenge. Once I will explain to you one time. There is was a audit of Parco or Pepco. I think it's not necessary to take the name of the one of the organization.
So-
I have to go the for audit of customs bond. When at that time I was in customs, and I go for a audit, and we have a tour for 15 days. Up till 7 day, I cannot find even a single discrepancy.
after 7 days, out of 15 days.
Out of 15 days, up to 7 days, I cannot find a
Discrepancy.
single discrepancy. As I said you earlier, as that I remain every time the main player of my team.
So,
I was remain the fast bowler and opener player of my team regarding work.
you're ready to face the
We
first
were,
person.
our team was regarding 3 peoples and 2 superintendent and 1 senior auditor, and the superintendents only facilitate me,
Okay.
and main persons who are detecting person are I was the detecting
So-
person. After on I was very much suppressed that my officers feeling that I am a very good person and I cannot even detect anything. On 8th day I started my I get a very little point on that.
So,
Then that little point become very beneficial for me when I detected.
You found
and
a
I
shortcoming that
the-
boosts your confidence that I can do
confidence,
that.
I give. Then I started working on that point. It give me a good discrepancies. As being a auditor, I want discrepancies and give me a discrepancies. And you imagine that after next 7 days, and the organization deposited 28 crore rupees.
28 CR.
Yeah, rupees 280 millions.
So,
280 million was recovery,
Okay.
and that was deposited because we have decided that their team decided that if you give me prove us it is a discrepancy, then we will deposit today, and if we prove that it is not discrepancy, then you will stop the audit. I sit with the 5 panel of their team, and at the end it was decided that there is a discrepancy, and they deposited 280 million rupees. That was the topmost recovery of in the history of custom bonds that I recovered. and next day there are a lot of station, and every station's director was calling me to give me, and my director and DG was so happy. They called to chairman that we have detected a lot of money. And there are a very good cases in my life that I do work, who feels that there is nothing, but I detected a lot of amount and recovered it from them.
Sir, well, 20 to 80 million, you said, that is a huge amount,
Yeah.
and I'm sure your record would be broken someday
Yeah.
for just because the things you have done, you have achieved, would lead to the prosperity. So that is, we are really thankful to you for all this. Sir,
You're welcome.
when you are sitting in an environment, you always feel you do have competition, where you have to work with a person who is not in your good books, and you are the person, you even sometimes there happen you're a person who is not in the good books of XYZ person. How would you say that, sir? Can you mention an example of your job, of anything, where you have to work with a person you always argue or disagree with? You have to work with together as a team. So what role do you perform, and how did you do that, working with a person you always disagree with? So how is that feeling, or how do you overcome that?
As you know, I am a teacher. When you are a teacher in a class, there are all the students have a different capabilities and capacities.
Indeed, sir.
You said that there will be a top one student who score 100 out of 100 marks, who can give you a answer of every question.
Sir.
And there are students who are not listening you in the class, and he is not observing any even a single thing
Non-attentive
from
students.
not attentive students.
So,
As being a teacher, I have to deal with all the people. Therefore, it is not difficult for me. Sometimes you have in your team there is a person who is not a good worker, or he is not a good ethically good person.
So-
but as you are working as a team, you have to go with him. You cannot leave the work. You will have to perform that duty according to the environment. Whichever environment is, you will perform.
sir, but I would rather say that if you're working with a person, if I myself am working with a person whom I know that we're working together as a team, I know that I am going to have an argument with him, and this argument might lead to a heated argument, because back of my head, I would know that he is coming up to me with some argument which I am not going to agree. Just because if I am getting to something, I'm getting to some point with my way of thinking, with my way of planning. Well, I'm with that I'm sure of that he's not going to agree with it. He's going to come up with his plan, which I believe to some extent is not going to be that good or not that efficient. How do you feel that, to let any person overcome your plan or overcome your things? So what is that certain point? How do you decide that point, that if I am going to with that person, if I am going to elaborate him, to console him, to do that thing in my spectral way?
Whenever you do a teamwork, you have to control your emotions.
So,
You should behave like a teamwork, no being a personal. Sometimes it happens that my team is not working according to my plan,
So-
and it create a difficulty for me that if we do sometime I try my best to explain my point of view.
So-
And if I feel that they understand and follow me, then it is good. But sometimes they will not understand and they did not follow you. Then you give them a time to let's go. We will do according to your plan.
okay.
But as you think that in practical life, every task has a
Has its own importance and results.
Right.
Yes.
Standards important. Standard
So-
even with this task, we will achieve that results from this task.
Indeed,
If 1 or 2 days you cannot achieve the results, he will sorry for you.
He will be apologetic.
And that is where I will follow you and do according to your work. If you are taking it, maybe that person may be good and he is doing a good. If you are achieving the goals, then good, follow him. Because you are in teamwork. When you are in teamwork, control your emotions.
If I summarize your saying in a few words or a sentence, being patient is important.
Yeah.
If
Ve-
is that
It's
context?
very necessary in
Okay, sir.
teamwork.
Means it's a good thing. You have to listen to the others' discussions and
Yeah.
others' arguments. So there is a lot of feedback and criticism in the department, in your life. Even sometimes your partner with whom you are living a lot of life. Sometimes he might be criticizing you as a teacher, as a father, as a sibling, as a son, as an employee. In every aspect of your life, how do you feel criticism? Or how do you, if I may rephrase it, how do you handle the feedback you get, the criticism you get? How do you handle that, sir?
It's a very good question. Whenever I give you my article, or whenever I write an article and give to my supervisor, my teacher, my senior, I request him, please see it critically.
Critically.
whenever I made a video and I request the peoples to see it critically
So-
and advise me critically and advise me, and I think critiques improve your qualities. So if there is shortcomings, it is good that I know about my shortcomings
Sir.
and I overcome that shortcoming. Therefore, I always appreciate the criticism, and I never show anger regarding who anybody criticize me. I take it positive and I improve that quality for the criticism.
But sir, it's a common norm that if you move into the society, you're living in a society where criticism, people feel that if we are criticizing them, they don't feel it good, they don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Sir, why is that? You said if I just request people to analyze my things critically, why do people take it the negative thing that criticism is a bad thing? Why, sir?
I think I feel that the people who criticize you, he help you to improve your efficiency, to improve your personality, to improve your talent. So I think it is a not negative thing, and people should observe. People should give them the regard who criticize. So he is improving his personality.
So that is a good thing. You are taking your feedbacks, even they are not up to the mark as you've thought,
Yeah.
in a positive way. That is a very good thing, sir. So how do you stay updated?
One thing, as you say that even the criticism may be criticism by criticism, ऐसे ही हो सकती है. Then it is good. You think that if that criticism is improving yourself, that it is good. If not, then he may live happy. You will ignore him.
So you being a teacher, how do you stay updated with the trends of your industry, of your field, and developments that are currently going? How do you stay updated? Being a teacher, being an
Yeah.
employee.
Being an employee of Federal Board of Revenue, as I have to observe there is the latest SROs, circulars, letters.
So-
Whenever I sit on my seat in office, I first of all open the site of Federal Board of Revenue.
So
and I observe which SROs, which are the new SROs, circulars, and what is the update regarding that.
So,
You will be updated regarding your professionalism regarding taxes. Then there are a lot of groups. I am part of that group who shares the decisions of courts, appellate tribunal decision or high court, Supreme Court's decision. Those decisions are also very helpful to make update, to remain update on. And one thing that is very important, yeah, when you become a famous, that he knows something.
so
He knows something.
he has knowledge.
Knowledge. He has a knowledge, and people will call you, sir. Please tell me about this point. And it is I think it is a very good thing for you if you gain a success regarding that. The people want to ask you, then they remain you update regarding that. Alhamdulillah, I have this capacity that sometimes every people in my circles who feels problems, that what is the, he call me, and I check from the book, from the latest SROs, and I replied that I remain update. That is the thing who give me.
Once a teacher, always a teacher. So, sir, means there are developments going. Means you've mentioned about SROs. Sir, I know we're taking a lot of your time, and we are very thankful to you, sir.
No problem.
And we're very apologetic that we have called in a short notice. Sir,
problem.
how do you
You
feel?
are always welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. The tax makers, the tax laws makers. Sorry, sir. How do you feel that? How is the efficiency of our tax laws, including the sales tax and income tax? I'm talking about the both. How efficient they are, and how well understanding they are in the income tax ordinance, in the updated income tax ordinance 2001 and Sales Tax Act 1990. How well efficient they are, how well they are easy to understand to the general public, not specifically the person who has a background knowledge of this and who are the employees or the members or students of the professional bodies. How do you feel that?
You know that laws are made by the National Assembly of Pakistan, approved by them. These laws are drafted by the departments and then go for the approval and become a law. But while drafting the policy, what policymakers think about that?
So,
Like you have maybe listen, or you have a knowledge that sometimes the policymaker think that who are rich people. The basic theory of taxation is to take tax from rich peoples and distribute poor peoples, and for the development of the country to take taxes from rich people. That is the basic theory of taxation. Now, policymaker think who is the rich people. Sometimes the rich who is depositing in the bank more and who is drawing from the bank more, that are the rich people. Then they make a law that whichever people will draw from the bank more than 100,000 rupees, he will pay a 600 rupees tax. They think that it is a good. The people's stop to deposit in banks due to the fear of tax. And the State Bank of Pakistan
then holding ones become the rich people.
and banking industry of Pakistan raise a point that our banking industry is
Lack deposits.
lack of deposits due to the taxation. Please withdraw this tax. The policymaker withdraw this tax, and again they think who is rich people. They think that the people who is consuming electricity more, they are rich people. They impose a tax on whoever bills more than 25,000. They were then the policymaker always remain in this task. Who is a rich? Who is purchasing a car, and they impose a tax on car. Who is purchasing a plot? They impose a tax on plot. All the laws are making with regarding the environments, and sometimes there are duties like you are listening about Trump's tariff policy.
Yeah, that is one of the hot topic.
Nowadays, it is a hot topic, and I make a video on that topic. What affects that? Sometimes the policymaker think about the home industry, and they want to promote the home industry, therefore raise the taxes on the imported goods,
So,
that it is the also the form of goods. So these are the things which policymaker think about and impose taxes and draft the taxes and make the law regarding.
like the laws varies from situation to situation,
Exactly.
everyday situation. Like basically, FBR is working as the Robin Hood of the state, taking from rich, giving it to the poor. That is a good thing.
And you think about and you can imagine that how much duty and taxes on cigarette.
So I think this is more than the price of that.
How many? You are good. You are right that it is more than.
It is more than because sir, it is contagious to the health.
Yeah.
And I am not aware of the exact amount or exact rate, but I think it is more than 100%.
No, it is more than 500%.
It's more than 500%.
500% of
Yeah, you
duty
need to
and
correct
taxes.
that. The people who are smoking, you should be avoiding that.
One thing, and second one, how much is tax duty and taxes on the potatoes, onions, vegetables?
So we are growing that in our country. That might be very less federal.
Yeah, it is very less. There is no taxes, but due to that it is the usage of common people.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Indeed, it
Everyday
is the
use, it's
necessity
an
of,
everyday use.
necessity of
Yeah, sir.
the poor people, every people. Therefore, there is no taxes. Like if you think about that, if you import a Land Cruiser or V8, how much duties
So
there will
there
be?
are much more duties.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is more than their price, like cigarette. Why? Because Land Cruiser will import only a rich people.
Yeah,
It is the
not everyone can afford a Land Cruiser. So
There is no taxes on cycle, bicycle. That written. Therefore, the policies are
regarding on the situation. So if continuing your answer, was it better or is it better to tax a person on his wealth rather than its income? Is it better?
Yeah. It was a time when there was a wealth tax, but nowadays wealth tax become the provincial subject. Now you will listen from the persons, or if you have a bigger, you are studying a taxation in your subject. There is a one tax, property tax.
Yes, sir.
That property tax is provincial subject. After the 18th amendment, now the provinces collect the tax. That
Sir.
tax. No, on which was the wealth tax was the subject of federal, but federal government. But now the federal it is the subject of the provinces, and they collect on property tax, excise on vehicles, and this that.
Sir,
It is that it is imposed on the wealth, but it is the provincial subject, and income is the
federal subject.
Federal
Sir, well, if we little bit, if I talk my ad to the history of America. America has a system of taxation. It is a ground level taxation to the council, to the lowest possible government state level. So, do you feel if that level, that if we take it to the council level, union council level, taxation or district level, would it increase the efficiency of tax collection or not?
Yeah, there is also a same like I explained you that there is a property tax which is a provincial level. There will be a state level and
If we
council
could
level.
take it to the ground
But
level.
it is, but it is not implemented in Pakistan. Or the councils are property collected by the persons rather than the department.
Okay.
Like it go in the form of bribes, as I explained, tell you
Yeah,
that
you just mentioned
people
that.
want to
Give bribe
rather than tax. Therefore,
It's a
the
lack.
system is same, but due to the non documentation and informal economy, the lack of documentation and other things.
The lack of education and
yeah.
not proper infrastructure built up to the roots.
Yeah,
Okay,
and economy is not documented.
Yes, okay, so well, that undocumented economy, I must say, is one of the biggest problem of a
Biggest
country.
problem, and
facing.
there is a 70% of our economy is undocumented.
And you guys feel that we are running on 30% of documented
Whichever you are listening on the 30% of that.
Yeah, so we're coming to the next question. Well, it is regarding to your personal perspective, personal prerogatives, sir.
Oh, good.
What are the things you think you should have avoided or you should have done in your life? Means in your, even in your bachelor life, in your teenage, in your married life, in your job, in your teaching career. Means if you understand in every aspect of your life, just what should you have avoided? You think you have avoided, or what should you have done? How do you think that? What are those things, sir?
One thing I learnt in my life, that whenever you remain in hard working, that after completing that work I will enjoy my life. I think that should not be postponed.
Okay.
You should enjoy your life at every moment.
So-
being student, you should enjoy by studying and physical exercise and to carry on your health. I think I did not enjoy my life on that points. Mean, being a student, I should be a sportsman and I should play much, and I avoid that. Like you, as you are a sportsman,
Yeah, sir.
become happy to saw you in football and your matches. And inshallah, and second one is that you remain with you should remain your happiness with all of your life.
So,
Being a student, you should be happy. Being a starting of job, you should be happy. Being a father, you should be happy. Being a husband, you should be happy. And being an old man like me, you should remain happy in every life and enjoy the moments that in which you are. You should not postpone the moments that I will, after completed that, I will be take the enjoyment.
means you saying that you should have done in your life that you should be much rather than a physical person who would be involved in physical activities.
Yes.
So, what would be the things that you should have if you are a father? What things you feel you should avoid being a father? You might have daughters, you have sons. What thing you should feel you should avoid being a father that might infiltrate your child's brain? That my father shouldn't be doing this. My father should be doing this. What are the things you should avoid as a father, as a thing?
I think everything on which my child feel ashamed that my father is doing that. I think that should be
You should
avoided.
avoid that.
Yeah.
That's a thing like children's.
And,
I think
and
father
everything
is the
did-
first person.
Yeah, the
A son or a daughter idolizes
yeah.
because they saw most of their time with their fathers. Well, that is one of the things that you should avoid that brings shame to them.
Yeah.
So, but being a father, how do you feel? Being a teacher, you must have taught them. What is the feeling of teaching your own child, continuing your job, continuing your things? How do you manage all those stuff, sir?
And nowadays, you cannot teach your own children. It is very surprising for me. Even every person, every officer, every student give a good feedback regarding my teaching style. But my own children did not feel that I am a good teacher. It may be you feel some become angry on them while teaching, or you cannot carrying on a stamina where there they should but something there is a wrong that my kids are not happy with me regarding being a good teacher.
So,
But I am trying my best
to teach them.
to teach them.
Sir, moving into the next question, sir. What if you were sitting in front of 20 years old or teenage Mr. Asif?
Yeah.
What would be the one advice you would give them? Give yourself. Give your 20-year self, if I.
Yeah, yeah. One of the which I feel lack in my life, that is the I not become a sportsman. I should be a sportsman, not at the professional level, but I should enjoy the moment of ground, which I did not enjoy it much.
So if
I
you
think that.
should
Oh,
travel
what
back
is-
in, if you can travel back in
yeah,
time,
I think at least 4 hour I remain 4 hour a day. I remain in the ground, even cricket ground, football ground, hockey ground, in whichever I should.
you
remain
should be
there.
careful that Mr. Asif, if we can travel back in time, he would be saying himself, yeah, you should be taking part in the sports or physical activities, any sport.
Any sport. And
So what
second
would
one,
be your advice to our generation who are in their teenagers or are about to leave their teenagers and enter into a young mature person's life? What would be the advice?
one of the first my advice is that you should be remain at least 2 hour in the playground in young age.
Okay, sir.
At least 2 hour, spend 2 hour in playground, not spend so much time on screen. Reduce your screen time and do a hard work in which field you are. You should be top one of that field, and inshallah nobody stop you from your success and you will become a successful man if you follow on three things that are hardworking, hardworking, and hardworking.
Guys, the most inspired person from Mr. Muhammad Ali Jinnah we are having us on table. Sir, there is a lot of things you might have taken some decisions in your life that you feel that this is a bad decision. Is there any point in your life you have taken any decision that you regret that I took that one? Is there any decision in your life, in every aspect of your life? If you can share, if you might share comfortably, sir.
Yeah, most of the time I follow Mr. Bill Gates regarding that whichever done it
That-
pass on.
Okay.
Please think about for future.
Okay.
Whenever I feel that it is not a good decision and it wasted my time, I forget it for next time. I think about the future, and sometimes if you do big projects, you have to feel the hurdles and unsuccessful achievements while doing your work. There are a lot of unsuccesses in my life like successes, but I forget whichever is past, that is the past. Now think about future.
Okay, sir.
I
Well,
did not take regret with me.
what is the one thing you felt which makes you feel happiest the most in your life? Is the one thing that make you feel happy?
I think teaching is my passion, and I am teaching the officer or my own officers, and it make me.
So that
happy
is
as a person.
indeed
Very
an
happy.
honorable thing
Yeah.
for the institute for having on board such person who is teaching the officers who are currently employed in the Federal Board of Revenue, or some of them might be in customs.
Yeah, I have also give a lecture to the Customs Academy and Inland Revenue Services Academy and other institutions in.
So that is the
Whenever
thing.
I go in any seminars, there may be sits the head of the department of that department, all the faculty members, PhD doctors, and listen to me and give me award. That give me a honor and happiness.
So, means that you being a teacher, being an FBR employee, being a father, what do you think are your career goals for the next few years? Next span, you might take 5 to 10 years. Sir.
My first target, and I told you that to teach every person of the Pakistan that the importance of taxation and what is the taxation and what is the importance of taxation. As I become retired, inshallah, in the next year, and my PhD will be inshallah notified and become a doctor, and I will through my channel, through my lectures, through my teaching, I will give the awareness of all the peoples of Pakistan that taxation is good thing, and please abide the law of the Pakistan and become a good taxpayer.
Sir, that is a noble cause you're doing by in within with staying in your personal uh, things while abiding all the laws, while fulfilling the needs, fulfilling the requirements as a father. Sir, we're really thankful as a nation to you, sir. And what trends do you see what trends, I mean the development, do you see in the near future regarding the taxation or the Federal Board of Revenue, sir?
If you ask me regarding the trends in future, there is only 1 to 1.2% are paying taxes or filing their return.
So
You can say that filing their returns, 1 to 2% of the population. But in the world, in the developed country, there are up to 60% of the population file their returns.
so
As you can see, there is a huge gap between 1 to 2% to 60%.
so there's a
If
among
you
us gap.
think that if the percentage from 1 to 2 to 10% people file their return, it's mean the workload of 10 time increase
So
regarding the officers of Federal Board of Revenue and consultancy work on both sides, accounts, audit, this, that, everywhere.
10%.
There is a gap of 9 times, not percent. 10 times
10
it will
times.
be increase or 10 times mean 1000%.
Man,
There is
that
increase
a
in
huge
this
gap,
figure.
sir. That is a
And I
huge
am
gap.
expecting that in because there is no reason we cannot survive if we will not come to that point. If we will not document our economy, that up to 70%, as I told you that 70% is undocumented. At least you have to do a 50% documentation. 50% your population should be documented, and at least 10% of your population should be a filer. Then you will be survive. Otherwise, survival is very difficult.
Very
Very
difficult,
difficult.
sir. So, what are some of the advices for someone you would give who is looking forward or planning to enter into the field of taxation or an audit or any other professional field like ICMA or ICAP? What would you suggest that person, irrespective of gender, sir?
Yeah. If I advise to the youngers for being adoption of the career in taxation system, there are two sectors. One is the public sector and second one is the private sector. In public sector, you can qualify a CSS and you become assistant commissioner in the Federal Board of Revenue. Otherwise, you appears in the Federal Public Service Commission's exam for inspectors and other post appraisers, custom inspectors, and departmental exams from the UDC, LDC, and other computer experts related. Being you can adopt as a in the public sector. For a private sector, as law said that you become an authorized person of the registered person, you should be a chartered accountant or ICMAP, or you have to be completed your law degree. Otherwise, if you have done your bachelor's degree with taxation and you have a 1 year experience, that you also become an authorized person, or you can say that tax advocate or tax lawyer, a member of tax bar, you can become a member of tax bar. And you can do in the private sector, even you can do a bookkeeping and taxation and audit work. All are, there is a lot of scope. Its work should be increased in next 5 years up to 10 times of current work.
That is it.
Though I think it is a very good profession. If you want to adopt, I will suggest you to
Well,
adopt
guys,
that.
that is 1 in a million advice you have got, and we're giving it to you free of cost, sir. Sir, coming to the last question, sir. If you had to summarize your life in one sentence, or if I can say in one word, what would it be?
I think, Alhamdulillah, I live a very better life than other people's, and alhamdulillah, Allah have give me a lot of respect, and alhamdulillah, Allah have given me every facility of life, and I am satisfied with Allah. Thank Allah, you have given me everything.
Sir, just one thing I would ask you, sir. Is failure plays an important role in our lives?
I think you cannot taste the achievement if you did not failure in life. I think especially the students of ICMAP and ICAP feel the taste of success after failure. So I think your success is beautiful if you sometime in life fail, then you enjoy the success.
Sir,
It will not stop you, but it become you a more strong person for success.
Sir, we are very thankful to you. You have given us a lot of time, even though it was on short notice. We are very honorable, sir, to have you on board. Sir, would kindly, sir, give us the feedback for how do you feel the environment, the talking space of the Institute of Tax Professionals, sir? If you might say a few words for us, sir, at the end of this discussion.
I think as always the Institute of Tax Professionals call me because the vision, mission of tax professionals and me are the same. We want to literate the people regarding the taxation, regarding the tax law. We want to finish the fear of taxation and documentation from the people, as our motto is same. So I am along with tax professional and Institute of Tax Professional side by side.
Thank you, sir.
I am available every time.
Thank you, sir, very much. Thank you, sir, very much. So, guys, is me on behalf of Institute of Tax Professional. It has someone said that success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And success usually comes to those who are busy looking for it. So we are very thankful on behalf of Tax to Sir, Mr. Asif, who have given us a lot of time. And sir, me on behalf of Institute, Ikram, here is hereby to say, signing off, Allah Hafiz.